Another try. Let's see. I had issues with my connection. Oh!
Hello again.
Oh no, I have no idea what has happened. My Instagram has shut down. I don't know why it happened. Whoa.
You were frozen for quite a few minutes. What do you think? Should we start from the beginning and delete the other video, or just
Yeah,
continue
I
on?
think so. That's best because we
But
have
you,
we
but the
lost.
first part you explained so well.
Oh my
It's like,
god.
can you remember? Yeah, but we can just start. Right. So today we are going to talk about um, I'm going to talk a little about the experience with the soulmates or pre-twin, as we like to refer to them as, and then the moving more of the, like, what I call like the transition period, because there is that that time that quite
Mm,
unique time when you're kind of moving from one to the other, from the
mm.
pre-twin to the twin flame. Um, yeah. So yeah, would you like to start with your kind of pre-twin experience?
Yeah, I awakened to this kind of connection 2016, and it happened through vision that I had while I was feeding my horses. I try to I try to remember what I said in the first video.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, I had that kind of I was feeding my horses and
Mm-hmm.
I had that vision. And he was there and somebody else was there and I had no idea what's going on and I was completely confused. I don't want to go into details because otherwise it is giving away who he is because
Yeah.
it was connected with what was going on. I was just baffled because I was like, he was basically, what I can say is that he said that he is going to be scapegoated, and I was like,
Okay.
what?
Well, that's good. You
um,
didn't mention that the first time, so it's good you put that bit in.
yeah. Yeah, I think I can mention that even though
Yeah.
it is like, yeah. um yeah, and I was confused, and I was telling to a friend who is spiritual, and she is um pretty open-minded. That's why I was like, you know, I had something going on and that was weird, that experience, and I think, do you know what's going on? And she was like, let's wait and see, you know, just like, if you dream something or whatever, you know, you can like write it up or keep a journal or whatever. And I was like, I have no idea what was going on. I was
Yeah.
confused. And I was just like half a year before I started to meditate and like do a little bit like a spiritual practice. And back then, I was meditating and then he appeared in the meditation. I was just like, what the heck? And my first thought was like, I was like in a shock back then because I was like, I don't want that because he he's known to be a difficult person. Let's put it not
Yeah.
exactly difficult, but not exactly scandalous. But yeah, not an easy person. Let's put it like this. And I was just like, holy fuck! I was like with my own situation and my kids and everything, and with my karmic. The situation wasn't the best, and I was just thinking, no, I cannot do this. I don't want that. It's just what's going on. I have no idea. And I told my friend this, and um she told me back then, do you know what twin flames are? And I I was like, I have no idea. What's that?
Yeah.
I knew what soulmates were back then, but I had no idea what twin flames were. And she kind of explained what means and everything, and I was just like, no, 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 I want that. I want that. I have enough issues. I don't need stuff like this in my life.
Yeah.
Well, it was useless because it happened anyway. But yeah, I am grateful. I think most who are in that situation, we are like, we don't want this, don't want this, stop it, track for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am very grateful about not. It helped me realize my own intuition and everything. And he has helped me moving out of my situation and realizing what's going on. And he was really like giving me the last push for that. So I'm very grateful for this. Yeah. I don't want to go further into details because I think everything else will like
no, that's
tell,
right. Yeah. No, that's
tell
good.
who he
is. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think yeah, don't need to go into too much detail about that because I would eventually like to concentrate on the twin flame experience, which we haven't quite got to yet, but that's all right. We're it's the steps towards it. But yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah, the things that you've said, because for me it's extremely similar. Yes, someone who is also known to have problems. Yeah, what you said, the kind of difficult or perceived to be kind of difficult. And you're like, yeah, do I want to take all that on? That's a lot to deal with. But yeah, I also had, yeah, I would say it started off with a vision. That's when I knew that something was happening. Yeah, so I was in my life I was at like a crossroads, like quite a, because I've been kind of, I would say, like actively spiritual for many years before that. And yeah, it was quite a spiritual crisis point. And yeah, never felt so lost. But yeah, this man I saw, yeah, I just saw his name kind of popping up like around that time when I probably wouldn't have noticed it before. So, oh, all right, like yeah, I knew who he was. Not necessarily a fan, but had a lot of respect for him. Like I knew he was an amazing artist. Like very, yeah. One of the the pioneers in his genre of what he does. And anyway, and I was, yeah, there was kind of a lot of things popping up, but yeah, I won't go into all of them. But yeah, I was at work doing something quite mundane, but also yeah, this time in the retelling me your story, I kind of realized that you kind of, yeah, feeding the horse, and me, like I was at work cleaning something. That's also quite feminine as well. It's quite a feminine activity. So I think there's something in that. Yeah, just a kind of normal day at work. I remember I was actually quite sick. I remember I had like a really bad cold. If that means anything, I'm not sure. But yeah, I was yeah, just a very boring day at work. I was just cleaning like a fridge or something. And then this man, I just had, yeah, like this vision of him just popped in my head. And I was like, oh, like, okay, that's a bit unusual. Yeah, it's like their face is like right there, isn't it? Like in your mind's eye or whatever, it's like, it's like right there. It's like, ah. And their energy is so kind of pressing on you as well. And there was that. So, okay. And then I just kind of got up and was like maybe cleaning something else. And then the vision extended to him standing in the doorway of the restaurant. I just had this strong feeling he's going to come in. He's going to come into the restaurant. He's going to come into the cafe. Like it was just like the instinctual feeling. Strong but very subtle at the same time. I just knew it was like there was, but then I was like, oh, you're crazy, you know, what are you talking about? And I don't know how much time passed. It wasn't a couple of hours. And I was just there. I was actually getting ready to leave, finish my shift, and he walked in. He walked into the cafe, and I was like, okay, this is something. This is something. I felt like I finally snapped. Like this is nervous breakdown. I thought it was an hallucination, because it was like the feeling was so kind of, it was like an out of body experience, if that makes sense. Just so kind of elevated, and you just feel, just so kind of like elevated up. You're kind of leaving your body, and I had never experienced anything like that before. Out of body experience. I guess that's how you, not like literally looking down on myself, but that's the best way I kind of describe it. Like a alternate reality. And I mean, I've had kind of psychic impressions before in the past, but nothing like that. It was all very surreal, and it was all over very quickly, and he left, and I remember getting so angry because I didn't get a chance to talk to him because we got really, really busy in the restaurant. And I regretted that after. I was like, you should have just quit. Should have just quit your job and went, I'm leaving now with him, walking down the street, because I need to talk to him. But anyway, but what I very quickly understood from that, that I'd had like a spiritual awakening, or like psychic awakening. It's like the major one. I've had a few. I feel like I've had like 3 kind of awakenings, but that one I would say is like the major one, and that was like the psychic one. That was where the crown chakra was opened, like completely kind of opened. And I also was like, I'm possibly insane, but I really don't think so. I really don't think I'm crazy. So I went to get a day or 2 later, I went to get a tarot reading. And the lady just confirmed a few things for me, and then we ended up actually becoming really good friends. Interesting that a friend, a kind of spiritual friend, plays a part as well, because it turns out, I was obviously drawn to see her. It turns out that she had a similar experience, and we ended up becoming pretty much best friends, and she helped me on my psychic path, like actively doing readings and that for people. So to kind of summarize, so this man, connecting with him, yeah, I mean, it helped so many things, push me on my path, and I feel that we did walk a journey together. Yeah, it was about 6 or 7 years actually. But my understanding that I'm psychic and that I have all these spiritual gifts, and also creative. And my creativity was kind of a creative awakening as well, especially getting into burlesque. I feel like he kind of pushed me to do that. But also understanding that I'm a twin flame, because I understood soulmates before. Well, at least what I thought soulmates were. And always had this feeling that that I need to find my soulmates. That was like my destiny. And in a way I was kind of actively searching for him. But it's funny that at that point was like the one time I wasn't, because I'd kind of given up, going, oh, I don't think I have one. But then connecting with this man, I was like, I think he's my soulmate. But at the same time, I went, this is something more than soulmates. This is something much more powerful. And yeah, I wasn't aware of the kind of the 5D stuff, you know, the kind of psychic connection between two people. That's something I wasn't aware of before. And I went, I don't know if that's soulmates. I think that's something more profound. So that's when I was searching for answers on connection stronger than soulmates. And that's when I came across twin flames. And I went, oh yeah, I think that's it. I think, because I didn't know something like that existed. And my understanding, for many years, is that that he and I were twin flames, and that was our connection. And my understanding of twin flames at the time completely fitted into that. And it was only a little bit later that things started to unravel, when another masculine energy came in. Well, kind of reappeared, but that's the next chapter. But you, like, rather than me going straight into that, would you like to try and explain your transition period when you realized that that this original man wasn't the twin flame, that in a nutshell.
It happened that my to Finland, and there was a reason that I didn't know back then, but we were not supposed to meet, and this has. I think that
someone's sending us hearts.
Oh, thank you.
I can't see who it is.
A lot of hearts. I just saw them.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
And thank you. Yes. And this has created some kind of a gap in the connection, that we were not able to meet, and the connection got a really, really bad hit back then. And there was basically no 5D connection anymore. There were no dreams, no visions. There was absolutely nothing. It was completely silence. And I was just like accepting that this is now how it is.
Oh no, you're starting to freeze again.
And,
oh no, please don't.
And try to move on with my stuff. There was a lot of things happening. For example, I had a lot of issues with my electric device. I had a lot of issues with my all that kind of crazy accepting what's going on, when all of a sudden 21 he was back, and I was like, well, nice, 2 years later. Or something like this. So it was kind of interesting. I was like, I have no idea what's going on, and returned. And I was just like, yeah, maybe it goes into the direction or how it was in the past. So I was thinking that, yeah, so then all of a sudden I had all kind of people that were a part of my life for quite a long time. They just drop off, and I was like, what's going on? People just went crazy for no real reason. A lot of backstabbing happening and stuff like this. You know, it was really like a purge of people, basically. And I was just wondering, what the heck's going on right now? And but I just went with the flow and just thought that just let it be. Yeah, and then all of a sudden I was looking at my Instagram, the what is it, the Explore feed, and there was a posting that caught my eye, and I was like, it was something in connection with me. I don't want to go into details, but it was something in connection with me, and I was like, what the heck is that? And I clicked on it, and then I saw that the posting was like 3 years old or something. I was like, what? Why is that suggesting me like a 3 years old post? I have no idea why. And then I saw the name, and I was like, wait a sec, I know that name from somewhere. And yeah, and this was basically how this kind of connection has happened. And I remember when when I told you that I got so scared. It scared me. It scared me back then. Oh my goodness. And I was just, I don't know, there were a lot of things coming all of a sudden, and my pre-twin appeared, and I was like, it was real, like, you know, really like the fool made way for the king. I think that's the best way how to describe it. I was just like baffled, because I didn't expect. I felt like dropped. I was just like, what the heck's going on now? All the people left, and then my pre-twin, he just disappeared, and then the news was just like throwing all kind of energy at me, and I was just like, what? I don't know. And yeah, and I remember. Yeah, and I connected with him. I think it actually was the second day or something like this. I can't remember exactly the time frame, but I connected in a dream space with him, and I was just like, it was nearly like too much, because it was like that kind of energy that was completely different to my pre-twin.
Yeah, he
was calm, like straightforward. The energy was forward, and I was not.
Yeah.
I was just like, what's going on? No idea what's going on. And yeah, and this was the point where it scared, really, literally scared the shit out of me, because I didn't expect something like this to happen. First, that the first one just like dropped away without anything. I was just like, hey, return, what's going on? Just left. I have no idea. And yeah, and that's the real one. He was just sweet and calm and everything, and I was in circles. I was the one who went crazy there, energetic.
Yeah.
I don't remember the messages that I sent you. Oh, bloody hell. But yeah, this is the best way how to describe it. I was just like completely out of my mind, because I was not expecting such like such conscious energy, really, like,
yeah,
being thrown at me. And it was, I think that this is the best way maybe how to describe the what they call the run dynamic, you know, when there's this one aiming forward and then you're just backing off and just like, I can't do it. I think this is how to describe it. And I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. And it was sweet all the time, I have to say. And he was, yeah, so much love coming from that side, that I was just like mind blown from this. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. And this was, you know, when I told you that I was kind of freaking out and everything, and I could like even be angry at him or whatever, because there was just like so much love coming towards me that I was just like baffled, basically. And yeah, so this was the situation when he came in, or how he came in, and I was just mind blown about this, because I didn't expect that. I absolutely didn't expect this. And was that trans going crazy nearly, because I was, yeah. I don't know what else to say other than just it was crazy. But I think this was, what I have to say is that with my pre-twin, the situation was extremely draining those last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I felt it was real like draining me of my life force, and this was completely bad. And I was like visible from the outside, that I was completely like done, basically. So I think that this was something that can be noted in those situations, that that there is the difference between the pre-twin and the real twin, is that the pre-twin is like that draining energy, instead of that unconditional love, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, oh no, you're.
Yeah. I don't know if you
again.
tell anything more about that time when when I was like connecting with you, trying to some help, or trying to gain some explanations, some feedback about
that. I'm not sure if I remembered too much, but I can now. It's just freezing like just for a few seconds every now and again, and I'm just like, oh, as soon as it freezes, I'm like, oh no, please don't. But yeah, I can hear you now.
but again,
anyway,
just
what I remember of that time was I could just instantly feel the frequency of, I mean, I don't know whether it's like specifically him or I guess it's the two of you connecting. I mean, that's, you know, that's the best thing to go on. It's energies and things like that. I mean, that's rather than anything else. I could just straight away feel that, and your vibration did raise after connecting with him. That's, and I think that's the most important part of this. And I think yeah, it's quite simple, but also, yeah, extremely profound at the same time. But I recognized it from my own experiences. Like, perhaps if you haven't experienced that yourself, you may not know what it is, but yeah, I recognize that frequency. And I was like, ooh, yeah, you don't come across that very often. Like, it's just rare that that I felt that, probably apart from my own connection. So I can't say I've quite felt that with anyone else. That anyone else kind of has that. Yeah, the kind of vibration frequency as an individual, but also when connecting with the divine masculine, or, you know, or as a couple. So that's what I mainly remember from that time. But for me, that says a million words. Like, I don't need anything else. Yeah, sorry, just think. I'm just relaxing here. Okay, but shall I then go into kind of my experience, the transition period then, and then see if we want to talk about something else, or leave it there, or
yeah.
So oh yeah, where do I start? I'll say I'll try not to get myself too confused, or anyone else. I'll use the term counterpart for my twin flame, the one I truly believe. And then I'll say pre-twin for the other. So my counterpart has been floating around, if you want to call it that, for many years. But yeah, when I kind of noticed that something was going on there, yeah, that was in 2018 as well, funnily enough. Interesting year. And I'd been in I'd just, yeah, to give a bit of background, it's like my I live in London. That's like my permanent residence, but I came back to Australia for a visit. I'm also in Australia now. Just a little coincidence there, although there's no coincidences. But there was something about, at the beginning of 2018, there was something about me coming back here. And then when I got back to London, like, things had really, there was like this, things had really kind of shifted. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, I felt kind of like on a new path. And just wasn't entirely sure why. But I did feel from my pre-twin, I did feel a bit disconnected. Like, I felt like he was very quiet. And also that things there, even though I felt like I was like in this new energy, on this new path, I felt in regards to our connection that things were a bit stagnant, because we'd be leaping and bounding, like like just like running, basically, like doing all these things together, like moving forward, like evolving so much the past, like yeah, so it was like 6 years at that point. And then I felt like things had kind of calmed down. I'm like, okay, I'm not quite sure what this means, but it felt different. Mm. And then in regards to the counterpart, again, there were things on social media popping up, connecting to him. And there was just this overriding instinct that, hang on. Yeah, just wondering what I can say. Okay, yeah, so I will say there were some events, I can say that, I think. Just this instinct to go to them. With me, I seem to need 3D encounters and connections. Like that's part of me with both, with both of the guys. But I felt drawn to them, like I was being pulled. And I was like, why am I feeling so weird about this? But it was a kind of recognition. Is that the right word? No, recognition came later. It was I'm just thinking recognition, because I did feel a pull in the, like, so it was like solar plexus, but that's the seed of recognition as well. Anyway, try not to get too jumbled with what I'm saying, but yeah, that kind of instinct, like deep inside and feeling pulled. It's like, okay, I should know by now not to question these things. Yeah, so there ended up being, there was a few encounters, but there ended up being one in particular where I felt a spiritual and 3D recognition from my counterpart that was completely unexpected. Like, if you ask me what is the last thing you expect to happen, it was kind of like that. Like, I just was not. And it was something very different. I went, this is something extremely familiar, but at the same time completely different from anything. It was similar to the pre-twin. That feeling when we connected, but at the same time completely different. Yeah. One thing about the pre-twin is I felt, I'm having deja vu saying this, but if I've already said it, I apologize. Having one of those things that's like, did I already say this in this video? Did I mention already that it's like they give you the clues to solve the puzzle with the pre-twin? Did I already say that? Rather than they give you the answers. Did I say that already? No, I don't think so, but maybe I just thought it. With the pre-twin, I kind of felt like they were, like it was up to me to kind of find all the answers to everything. Yeah, maybe to kind of leave the clues, and it's like, yeah, you solve this for the both of us. It's kind of the best way to describe it. But with the but yeah, when my counterpart came in, it's like he had all the answers. And I'm like, okay, yeah, not used to this, and yeah, not used to feeling recognized. Like he could see me in exactly like who I was, even without me knowing. I'm like, how can he know something without me knowing? How does he know all this? I'm the one who's supposed to know everything, figure it all out. But I just remember the feeling of this absolute pure joy. And it is like a physical feeling. Yeah, what's interesting also with the twin flame, with the counterpart, is the physical. Like, it's so much, it's not just the psychic awakening, it's the physical element. I mean, and I don't know whether that's just because I had 3D experience as well, but that I didn't have like a kind of psychic experience, or what I would say is a spiritual, like the crown chakra or whatever. It was solar plexus, the lower chakras, that feeling of pure joy. And that was like a ball, literally felt like this ball of energy in my abdomen, like a physical sensation. And that's but as well as feeling elated, like, it did make me feel elated. And I just remember coming away from that experience feeling that was the best moment of my life. It still is. I've never felt the pure joy to that extent. It's kind of like it could be described as like your first hit of heroin, I don't know. And then you just kind of keep chasing it, but maybe it'll never kind of feel like that. Yeah, twin flames are like a drug. That kind of, well, I mean, that's the whole thing about ecstasy, isn't it? That's what they say, that the ecstasy, you chase that, that feeling of ecstasy, and then you can never quite get that again. Anyway, we won't go into that. Won't get into all that now. And I was like, yeah, this is something really, really profound, but it's not what I was expecting. This isn't, like, I don't understand what this is. How can I feel this way about, or how can this person make me kind of feel this way? I don't get it. Like, I'm so stupid. I don't understand anything. When it's like, the person is like right there in front of you, I'm like, you feel like an idiot. Like, I don't understand what this is. But it's just like so obvious. But that's what, I'm glad I can laugh about it. It's good to have a funny story. Like, they're like literally like staring you in the face, and you're like, I don't know. Anyway, but and then I was like, okay, this is something. What came to me was that we were supposed to work together as healers. I just started to kind of receive that information. I don't know exactly where that came from. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Actually, that makes sense to me, that we would work together as healers. I'm up for that. And then it was, I don't know the time frame. I think it was a very short amount of time. That's, I was awoken in the middle of the night, and I this is my counterpart, and talking about I felt his presence in my room and heard his voice speaking to me, and I was like, okay. And that's when I knew that this is something, because I hadn't, in all the other psychic experiences, this was new level psychic experiences. And yeah, how you feel about it. For me, it took around 12 months to fully understand what was happening. I mean, it might not just been me. I think with my counterparts, I don't think that one really understands more than the other. Perhaps he had to come to some kind of understanding within himself. But it took about 12 months to understand that he was my twin flame. And that came from him in the 5D. He told me that. It wasn't me. I mean, I was trying to put pieces of the puzzle together, but yeah, it's just interesting that. But when he said that in the 5D, it just completely made sense. Like I didn't even need to think about it. I just felt an instant feeling of peace, and it's like everything just fell into place. But over that 12-month period, so my pre-twin was kind of there in a way, and I felt like I was having to like balance the two. I was like, okay, this isn't going to work, guys. But it felt like the two of them were working together. And it was, I mean, I'm sure it's something prearranged. But I was like, I was like, you guys, I'm sick of guys telling me what I should be doing. Maybe I don't want either of you. It's that kind of thing. Like, it's like, I feel like they were trying to decide like to do with me. Like, maybe I don't want either of you. Maybe I just want someone else. I was like really, really stubborn. It was just so kind of funny. But I felt as though also with the pre-twin, like he was like kind of looking after me in a way until my twin was ready. But it's interesting the kind of the connection I felt between the two of them. That it was something, as I said, kind of prearranged, and kind of the passing from me being passed from one to the other, and the no kind of like jealousy or anything kind of like that there, because I mean this is in 5D high vibration. There isn't that there. It's just a pure understanding between the two of them. But but I did not understand it at first. But I felt that with my counterparts, even before I understood that he was my twin flame, that we were going to be together in the 3D, regardless of who my twin flame was or whatever. I just felt like there was no escaping that, because I felt like he was telling me that. His energy was very present, very in the now, very present, very kind of grounded. With the pre-twin, it's very past and future. There wasn't a lot in the present. It was healing things from the past, healing things from past lives, and in the future these things will kind of happen maybe. But with my counterparts, it was very in the here and now, and kind of like he was pretty much saying we're going to be together. Like he knew. I'm like, oh, are we? I don't know about that. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but he knew the way. He knew the way to get through all my stubbornness. Just like no man's ever done that before. He was able to there was another with the pre-twin, the kind of the opening of the heart chakra, the heart, and the kind of the deep kind of caverns that are there, being able a lot of these things I kind of got visual, I get kind of visual representations of, but I was like, I thought that had all been opened, but then when the counterpart came and he's like, no, there's another like bottomless pit here that I'm going to open up and going to explore. I was like, yeah, I didn't think I could love anymore. I didn't think it could go any deeper, any higher. And then it went from kind of feeling that it was like against my will to it got to the point where I felt I had to make a choice. Still believing that my pre-twin was my twin flame. I chose my counterpart. I said, if I have a choice here, I actually want to be with you in a 3D relationship. Yeah, you're the person I want to marry and live with and be with in this lifetime, and share, share everything that goes with that. Once I made that decision, I felt things did flow a bit easier. I forgot to say that initially they were abandoning me. Very early on, I thought, he's giving up and he's passing me off to a soulmate. And I was like, so you're giving up now? I was like, you're not allowed to. Oh yeah, there is so much. But then that kind of made a bit more sense, that it was kind of a natural progression. And I thought, and with my counterpart, because everything was so immediate, I thought that things were going to be happening the next week. I thought, well, what's what I'm understanding, what he's telling me, that's going to happen, what he wants and needs from me, is so strong that he's going to come through and we're going to be together next week. But then that didn't happen. That's very hard to reconcile. And yeah, that did break my heart. When it got to a point when I'm like, I don't think he's coming next week. That was extremely confusing, and that did break my heart in a way that has never been broken. But I was able to kind of pick myself up, dust myself off, and like, okay, like, this is something that will work out in the end. Yeah, you just got to keep moving forward. And so yeah, so it started like the end of started. I call it like the activation, when it's kind of that recognition that when they come through and something's activating, there's that recognition. So the activation was like, well, they do activate you, they do. The divine masculine activates the divine feminine, but what am I saying? Yeah, the end of 2018. So it was like around my birthday, 2019. So how many years since that now? But I've never felt, I mean, yes, I've been disappointed, very, very disappointed, very confused, but I've never felt kind of let down or abandoned kind of since then. So he always comes through when he's needed. Then we'll see what happens. It's just interesting that I'm once again spending time in Australia, and then we'll be going back to London, and that's the last time. That's when things kicked off. So I'm just curious if if it'll be a similar similar thing, yeah, when I head back this time. So is there anything in what I mentioned there that you can relate to as well, that you want to talk about your own experience with something similar?
I'm just thinking. Yeah, what was in my case also was that with the pre-twin, I had to make all the moves and everything, you know. I had to push energies, basically. I had to do all the time. And pushing mainly into the masculine energy also. And this is with the real deal. It is not that much the case. Or I'm just reading the comment. Anna wrote, "Hey." With the real twin, it's yeah. I think I told that he's at one point there was the information I got, he wants to take the lead, and this is something where because due to the last, the person that has to like push all the time, so I'm at the moment I'm challenged to difficult for me because I'm used to do, you know, basically. So for me this is completely new, something where I have to really, yeah, and that I have to train myself. Like I think I told it the last days that now I stop it. I will not do anything anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a huge part of the twin flame experience, if you call it that, is the surrender of the divine feminine. I think that's one of our hardest things to do.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of, sometimes things are just so simple. It's like they're just so simple that you kind of don't need to it's like the twin flame connection, everything goes with it. It is on one hand it's just so simple and subtle, and in a way, but on the other hand, like, just so so profound, and all that, if that makes any sense. That's just we kind of forget that kind of that subtle things can have so much power, like power and influence and all this sort of thing. It's it doesn't everything doesn't have to be kind of grandiose and connected to drama, but we just live in that kind of world where that kind of the chaos, it's like the opposite of chaos. If there's chaos, then kind of need to rethink what's going on there. And it doesn't have to be like grand. It doesn't have to be like grand gestures of love and all these sorts of things. It just can be something just so just so very very simple and to the point. And yeah, and that's kind of what I love about it.
Yeah.
And
does anyone have questions? I think that's
yeah.
I just noticed that we have people watching.
There's a few there. But yeah, I was just gonna say a bit more about how that is also reflected in how humble kind of twin flames are, especially like the divine masculine. So yeah, subtleties. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, because I'm feeling maybe that's could be enough for today. Yeah, it could be left at a that's like a good point to leave it, I think, and then
we have started earlier, and then my phone broke. I have no idea what has happened, but we were talking about 40 minutes or something, and then all of a sudden I was freezing, and then it just shut down. So that was a little bit annoying.
But that's good, because I'm glad I got to retell my part, because I felt a bit more awake the second time.
Yeah, we are more than the sum of our parts. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have that.
Okay, so
yeah,
so I'm quite happy with that today.
Yeah, and it's Valentine's Day, at least here in Finland.
Oh yes,
now.
Of course.
What's I think it is already Sunday, so happy one.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah. To me, it's like I don't know. We haven't celebrated it in the past with my comic. He isn't into the kind of stuff. So yes, it was just like a regular day. Yeah, and yeah, it is some kind of I think I made the post with a Happy Valentine's Day, and I wrote that I personally I don't like that kind of, I mean, gifts. If you would like to give for some people it is a love language, but for me it is, for example, more important to spend some time, give the attention important than just like the material side. This is really like a precious gift. And
there needs to be the right energy behind it. Yeah, I mean, anyone can give anyone flowers or a card, nothing behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
that's true. Yeah, shall we?
Okay, yes. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for everyone who tuned in, and for everyone who will watch in the future, as we'll upload this in a few different places.
Yeah, so take good care, everyone, and Shall we will talk.
Yes, no doubt. All right. Okay. Take care.
Okay.
Bye
So
bye.
have a nice bye.